So the first piece of equipment that you need is a weighted vest. I'm wearing a black jumper, so you might not be able to see it properly, so I'm just going to turn to the side. As you can see now, probably I've clearly got on a weighted vest. So for those of you who don't know, a weighted vest is basically a piece of material that also provides extra weight. So it will have these little pockets that you can add metal weights or sand into it, depending on the quality that you get. I'd say get one that is expensive, or whatever you can afford, the most expensive one you can afford, because it's going to be a worthwhile investment, especially with calisthenics. When you're training calisthenics, your progress is going to be a lot slower than in the gym, simply because calisthenics requires mastery of technique, form, and it's not just a case of lifting your body up and down. And with that in mind, the weighted vest is going to help you build muscle, because a good one, so if you get a good one, because the bad ones, they move around while you're doing your exercises, and it's just going to cause you a lot of kind of like harassment in a way. It's just going to cause you a lot of harm. But for example, the good thing about a weighted vest, if you get a good one, is it stays close to your body, and you can do exercises such as pull-ups. As you can see right now, the vest is secured to my body, it doesn't move, and just like that, out of nowhere, I can make pull-ups so much harder. This one that I got goes up to 30 kg, that's about 60 pounds if you use that measurement. So it's definitely worthwhile, and it's definitely going to make it harder. You can do burpees with it too, you can do dips with it, you can do press-ups with it, and I'm actually going to show you how that looks like now. So as I said, the good thing about the vest is that it stays secure to your body and just adds more weight, so you can do burpees. Right, you can imagine how much more of a workout you're going to get just by adding more weight to your body weight. Those are really hard, but if you add even more weight, it's going to be even harder. You can do press-ups. And you can even do dips. The best things about a weighted vest is that you don't have to change up any sort of techniques or learn anything new. You just put the weight vest on, and boom, there you go, your intensity has just increased. Another piece of equipment is resistance bands. Right here, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use them as one example. There are many uses of them, but for example, what you can do is you can actually isolate your muscles, similar to how you would in the gym. Right now, I'm doing a bicep curl, and the band is very stretched in this position, but it's also even more stretched in this position. What this means is that your muscles are under constant tension, which is not something that you get with weights as much. You can have constant tension with weights, but it will be nowhere near to the amount of tension you get with a resistance band, because it's a form of accommodating resistance. This basically means that the resistance changes throughout the movement, whereas with weights, it stays the same. The amount of weight that you put on doesn't change, and it is going to get harder and difficult at the start or end, but this is nowhere near the amount of tension you get with the resistance band. So that's a bicep curl right there. You could also do something where you wrap the band around a pole, lean up against the pole, and do chest press, just like this. You can superset it with some flies, and you can really improve your mind to muscle connection by using bands. If you want, you can even do this with the bands first, and then go and do some weights after that, and you'll see how improved your mind to muscle connection is, because the bands really allow you to move freely. And now I'm going to show you another benefit of using bands. Another benefit of using bands is that they can help you unlock skills with calisthenics that otherwise you might not know how to unlock. So basically the band is just going to throw me up over the bar here, but I still have to use my upper body strength to do the muscle up. So now that I'm at the top, you can see how little the band is stretched. And as I come down, it's going to stretch more. Now it's really stretched. The mic might have even picked up the band stretching as I came down. The reason why this is important is because it helps you to realize how the band acts and assists you with your muscle up. So if the band is stretching at the bottom, that means it's storing energy basically to then help you when it's not stretched. So in this position here, most people will just do pull-ups, but if you want to improve your physique, you need to start advancing into more advanced moves such as a muscle up. But when you start out, you might not be able to do it. So the perfect thing about bands is that it actually trains the movement very specifically to the one that you want to unlock. So I'm basically doing a muscle up, but the band is just helping me. It's kind of giving me a little push to get up and above the bar. And that's really good practice, because eventually I would have done so many reps with the band that when I take the band off, it's going to be so easy for me to just do a muscle up without the band. So here's just another example of how the bands can help you to unlock calisthenic skills. So in this example, I'm just going to show you the front lever. So what I can do is I can get the band, put it around my waist, grab onto the bar, and simply from here, just hold the front lever. So that example there is one of the best examples to use actually, because with the front lever, a lot of people get demotivated because not using the band, for example, means you have to bend your knees in, and it feels like the weight of the world is on your lower back and you can't actually start progressing. This is going to lead to you losing motivation, and that's a really big factor. Even though discipline is important, you have to want to do the skill that you're training for. If you simply go out there and just go through the motions, you're never going to get there. And the beautiful thing about the band is it lets you hold the front lever, and it fills you with emotion, and you feel like you can actually start to do it because you're basically doing it, but just with the band. If that makes sense. So the last benefit of bands is that you can actually make bodyweight movements harder without having to carry around a lot of weights with you. So if I'm doing a set of dips and I'm on reps of 10 or 15, even as high as 20, and I just don't find it challenging, then instead of just not doing them or dragging weights around in my bag, which is quite long because the weights is gonna either ruin your bag or it's just gonna be a long day just carrying them around. So what you can do is just get the band, put it around the top of your neck or your traps, so this area right here, like at the bottom of your head, just a bit below that. Put it around there. Then you're going to grab it inside here, grab onto the bars as normal, and now the band is not doing anything, and as I push, it starts to put pressure around the area that the band is at. So this actually makes it harder. Phew, I feel it already. This would be very hard, especially if you get a thicker band where the band is really kind of pushing you down. So that's just another benefit of using the band. The next piece of equipment that will help you progress with calisthenics is a set of Parets. So you might have seen people using these. If you don't know what they're called Parets. So basically what they are is just bars for you to, like handlebars for you to hold on to that are close to the ground. The benefit of using these is you can do exercises such as press-ups. But that's not really a benefit because you can do press-ups without them anyway. The benefit of using these is that you can go a bit deeper in the press-up, therefore activating more of your chest. So a normal press-up on the floor is shorter range of motion, whereas with this you can go a lot deeper, and that will result in more gains. Another good benefit of these is that you can practice things such as handstands for a longer period of time and do more reps because your wrist isn't being put under pressure, such as when you do it on the floor. So if you do it on the floor, because your hand is flat, there's a lot of pressure on your wrist, but with these you can adjust your balance back and forward like that because you're actually gripping on to what I call it the frying pan. So when you make eggs or something, how you hold that handle, it's the same way you would hold this, so you can shift your body weight back and forward, and that means that you're just going to get more and more practice in. For example, hands done there, I can do this more than I can do it with the floor because my wrist is under less pressure. Another benefit of the Parets is that you can actually practice an L-sit as well, which is another calisthenic skill. So you might be able to tell by now that the main thing about the Parets is they help you to train skills and movements that you might not be able to do initially on the floor, because everything is harder on the floor. That's something about calisthenics. Whatever you do on the floor, more than likely it's going to be harder than doing it on the Parets. So it's really good for beginners or intermediates who want to either build their confidence or just build their strength. And for example, the L-sit, when you're doing it on Parets, it's a lot easier, simply because the Parets are off the ground, therefore it makes it a bit easier for you. You don't have to use as much strength to do it, and then it's like a bridge, so you can go from doing it on these to then doing it on the floor. So I would highly suggest buying these, because you can also take them when you're on holiday and train on holiday, and it's a tool that will last you basically a lifetime if you take care of it. Another really good piece of equipment that you might want to invest in is a set of gymnastic rings. So you might have watched the Olympics before and seen gymnasts using these. This is because it's part of their sport, but this doesn't mean that people, just normal people like us, can't use them as well. These rings, I got them for about 40 or 50 pounds on Amazon, and so they're not really that expensive. And just like the Parets that I spoke about before, you can take them on holiday, and these are actually even better because you can hang them from a tree, or you can hang them. In this example, I put them on the pull-up bar, so it's not that creative, but you get the point. So anything where you can hang them from, you can do that and have a good workout from it. So the reason why you want to buy them though, especially for muscle building, is because they're quite unstable. So if you go onto the top like this on a normal set of bars, the bars are coming up from the ground and they're quite stiff, so it does help you, but this will help you even more because they're going to move around. As you can see, this is free to move, and if I'm putting my weight on it, you'll see when you buy them the first time, every time people use these the first time, they go like that, because their body's not used to using the small stabilizer muscles that are required to be used. So for example, on dips, this will be a lot harder than regular dips, and if you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. It's quite important to know that even if I tell you what equipment to buy, that unless you buy it and see the benefit for yourself, then it's a bit useless. So definitely I'd say buy a pair of these rings. I'll say go for wooden ones, because the plastic ones, they're more likely to break and they're cheaply made, but the wooden ones take a bit more craftsmanship and they're made a lot better, so they'll last you longer as well. So before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to add like a little bonus tip, which is very specific to calisthenics. So the first one is liquid chalk. So liquid chalk is basically a substance that you can put on your hands, and it makes your hands a lot drier than normal, so it allows you to grip the bar harder. I would say the main benefit of it is in the summer when it's quite hot and your hands are sweaty. The last thing you want is to get up, go for a workout, and you grab the bar and your sweat is just not letting you grip onto the bar whatsoever. Your grip is a very important aspect or factor in determining how hard you can pull, and the liquid chalk basically guarantees that you'll have a strong pull every time. So liquid chalk. And the second one is simply a Bluetooth speaker. So this is basically like a tool to help you really go hard. Music, as you may know by now, or not, I don't know if you listen to music, but music is a very powerful emotional tool that you can use. It can influence your ability to go further, and if you don't listen to music, you can get a good workout in. But me personally, I can only say that when I listen to music, I go even harder, and that's the good thing about calisthenics. You can't really say to people, "Oh, don't put your music on because it's a public park, and the same way it works for you as well. So you can get your speaker, put your music on, and just get to work. You can't really do that in the gym though, because people will complain and stuff. But yeah, Bluetooth speaker and just get to work and go hard. And to be honest, that's it guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget that all of these things are going to help you with calisthenics, and the more of them that you have, the better as well, because it keeps your training fun, and you will be able to just keep progressing, and using different tools allows you to build more muscle.